So, the last 48 hours here in the world of crypto have been amongst the craziest that I have ever seen since I started investing about 7 years ago. I was here during the pandemic. I was here when FTX went down. I was here when Luna went down. I've been here through a lot of crazy stuff. And the last 48 hours have been amongst the craziest, purely because I've never seen that much money lost and wiped that fast. I've been through bear markets and I've seen people lose money over time, billions of dollars lost over a couple months, sure, but never within minutes. I've never seen that before. And it was such a shocking, impactful event that I was certain or hopeful that the crypto community would learn so much from it and that it actually could maybe end up being a good thing. Because there was so much over leverage. There were so many people, there were so many people taking risky positions and risky bets here in the world of crypto very unnecessarily. And what I was hopeful of was that this big, impactful, crazy event, one of the craziest things that I've ever seen before, although terrible, would be a net positive over a long enough time horizon. I was hopeful of that. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not looking like that's going to be the case. I wanted to make today's video because I am incredibly frustrated with the crypto community, and probably not many of you who watch my channel, but the crypto community as a whole and how it's responded to that majorly impactful event a couple of days ago. Because truth be told, from what it looks like to me, we're just never going to learn. Most people are never going to learn. Most people are never going to correct these mistakes that led to what happened a couple of days ago, and it's probably going to happen again and again and again. So let me give you some context. So 2 days ago, yes, the crypto market crashed as a result of Trump announcing that he was going to impose a 100% tariff on China. That is the reason why it started falling, for sure. The reason why it crashed as bad as it did was because of pure manipulation. And if this is something I've said a million times, so I'm not going to go super deep into it, but it was pure manipulation at its finest. I told you yesterday there were two core reasons as to why I think this manipulation happened. One, institutions wanted to accumulate altcoins and major cryptos like Bitcoin, ETH, whatever, at much lower levels. So it's obviously a great opportunity for them to be able to do it. But two, they wanted to flush out leverage traders and liquidate them, of course, to be able to pocket their crypto, so they can take more control over these limited supply assets, right? So that was why what happened yesterday. But the majority of it only was possible. A crash that size is only possible if people are over leveraged and betting too damn much, too big, way too much open interest, right? It's only possible in an instance like that. If you have a very minimally leveraged market, you'll have minimal impactful events like that. That's just the truth, right? So that's what caused it. Now, the biggest lesson that I hoped people would learn after that event was, okay, maybe we need to stop with this leverage thing. Like maybe it's about time to reduce it. Because truth be told, I still don't think that 2x, 5x, or even up to 10x leverage is a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's risky, and yesterday shows the worst of the risks of it, but I don't think it's a bad thing. But 50x, 100x, 500x, almost always is a bad idea. Some people it's great for. Most people it's not. And what I was hopeful of was that yesterday would serve as a beacon, like, hey, maybe we should stop this 50x, 100x, 500x shit, because all we're truly doing is gambling. And while we're gambling in all of these positions, we're setting up the entire crypto market to just get wiped, to get liquidated, to flash crash like that, to an extent where people were taking their own lives because of the losses that they were taking. The over leverage in the market caused this, right? And so again, I was hopeful that people would kind of open their eyes to it and be like, maybe we should just kind of stop, right? It's not the case. Because when I woke up this morning, I went and I was like, you know what? Let me go look. Let me just disappoint myself. And let me go look at the liquidation map. And what we can see is that many of the same people, and I actually did dive into this a little bit deeper, and I'll explain how I did that in another video. But many of the same people who lost money 2 days ago have now re-entered on the same exact amount of leverage. If Bitcoin's price falls, just Bitcoin, by the way, falls down to falls down to $105,000, there will be nearly $7 billion worth of liquidations that occur, and the vast majority of those liquidations being 100x or 50x leverage long positions. Meaning that the people who were gambling before that wrecked the market are back gambling again. And they've not really learned anything. Now, this is a massive reduction. It's about 30%, right? So 70% of the people who got wiped are done. Like, they're like, no, I don't want these problems. But 30%, 1/3, which is a lot, right back in. They just threw it right back in. And this is only Bitcoin. Doesn't account for Ethereum. Now, gladly, Ethereum is way lower, but that's still a billion, right? You look at Solana, much, much, much lower, still half a billion. So there's what, $10 billion worth of reentry. People saying, okay, I know I lost that time. I'm going to do it again. And then they just go right back in. Now, does this mean that the market's for sure going to crash again? No. Does this mean that the market has to go all the way back down to liquidate those people? No. And truth be told, these people who are betting on these huge leveraged long trades, they might end up making a lot of money. I mean, if we look at the overall structure of crypto right now, like let's just look at Bitcoin specifically, there's a world in which I could see this thing bouncing. What happened? Bitcoin's price broke above this previous all-time high and this point of resistance right here. It struggled to break above it right here, but it did. It broke above it, came all the way up to $122,000, and now it's just bounced off $122,000. It's just range bound. So who's to say that Bitcoin can't stay range bound right here and then use this to break up towards the upside and put in a new all-time high, and all of these people who are betting really big make a lot of money as the market chases down all of these liquidations. It's reasonable. It's reasonable to assume that that could happen. And so I'm not going to say they're wrong in the sense that they can't win here. But I'm more just making this video to express my disappointment in the fact that so many people who lost so much money, 50, 60, 70% of their total crypto portfolios, are re-entering back in with the same exact approach that cost them and us unrealized gains or even realized gains. And so I don't really have a purpose for making this video outside of the extent that I just wanted to express my disappointment. And I realize that's not a super valuable video. So let me give a little bit of gold nuggets to leave with. Yesterday was a prime example of a couple things that need to happen moving forward. And I'm speaking to my community. Okay. One, if you're leverage trading, which again, leverage trading at its core is not a bad thing. You just have to do it correctly, right? But if you are leverage trading, every single trade you make has to have a stop loss on it. It has to. You cannot rely on the idea of, no, my liquidation is so far away, it's not going to get stopped out. I just need to hold it long enough. Yesterday or 2 days ago is a prime example of why that is just not true. I didn't know that what happened a few days ago could happen, to be fair. I didn't know top 10 altcoins could drop 80% in one candle, one 1 hour candle. I genuinely didn't know it can happen. So I'm not saying I knew this prior, but now it is clear. Every single trade has to have a stop loss, one. Two, if you are intent on just holding positions, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, whatever, you're just holding it for the long-term future, I think it's best to hold those positions in spot backs from now on. You know, I know a lot of people who say, well, I'm going to open up Bitcoin positions on 3x leverage, have a whole bunch of margin, and I'll be fine. Or XRP, or ADA, or Solana, right? And the idea is that, well, they would have to crash 90% in order to liquidate those positions. So this is my long-term bag, but I get to make 2 or 3 times the returns. I don't think it's a good idea, not anymore. Because I'm going to be honest with you, what happened a few days ago is going to happen again. Maybe not this week. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon, but it will happen again. That was the most successful manipulation event that the lizard people have ever pulled off. They got a taste of those billions of dollars they just brought in. It's going to happen again. And when the time comes, the people who had those long-term positions open, maybe even for a year, 2 years, 3 years, they're going to lose. Stop being greedy and chasing extra gains. Play it safe, in my opinion, and hold your long-term positions in spot bags. That's 2 of the big ones. Like that's 2 of the really, really big ones. The third one that I would say is leveraging over 10x is probably just not a good idea anytime soon. Doing it for fun every now and then is fine, but doing it for real, unless you were very good at this, I wouldn't do it. The next thing that I would say is if you are going to be opening up leverage positions, okay, you need to really do some math first. And you need to make sure that there is no way that what happened to everyone a few days ago can happen to you. For example, if your position gives exposure to your entire portfolio, bad idea. If your position can easily within one candle just be liquidated, bad idea. I would say, actually, that using only isolated margin is a good idea. I would, at this point, not use cross margin ever again. Because most people use cross margin because they want to have so much of a position built up and so much margin built up that getting liquidated feels impossible. I know a lot of people who lost hundreds of thousands of dollars yesterday because of that mindset. And again, it's going to happen again. So I would almost say only using isolated margin is a good idea. And if you don't know what this means, these things I'm saying, isolated margin, spot versus leverage, etc., good, don't worry about it. Leave leverage trading alone for now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. Leave it alone. And if you're new here and you don't know what to do as a result of all this craziness, my best piece of advice, nothing. Nothing. The best thing to do right now is nothing. Because me, that guy, that YouTuber, that Twitter analyst, that Instagrammer, none of us know what's going to happen. None of us have ever been through this before. None of us have ever seen that happen before. People can say what they want to say. Look at the numbers. We've seen bigger falls. We've not seen that violent of a fall that fast ever. And we've not seen it happen because of what happened. We've seen crypto crash because FTX went down. That's reasonable, right? But we've not seen crashes of this magnitude as a result of pure manipulation. None of us have ever experienced it before. So I don't know what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. And whenever you have these moments of uncertainty where no one truly understands what's going to happen, the best thing to do is nothing. If you want to do a little bit of something, if the market dumps, sell a little bit, or buy a little bit, sorry. If the market pumps, sell a little bit. Contrarian trade and do nothing else. Buying the red and selling the green, do nothing else. Don't trade. Don't try to arbitrage. Don't try to do anything. Just leave it alone. And get through these weeks. Get through these months. Let's just see how everything plays out and then go from there. And if you do that, you will be in a much better position than most people. You know, I usually allocate about 90% of my entire crypto portfolio to spot positions and 10% of my portfolio to micro caps, pre-sales, leverage trades. So gladly, I didn't really lose much the last couple days. But purely because I'm aware that this market is extremely manipulated and I don't want to feed them. Like, I don't want to feed these lizard people's bullshit. So I'm going to just hold my spot bags. And so that's the approach that I'm going to continue to take. Probably for the rest of the year, I'm going to go 95% spot, 5% now, de-risk. And some of you may say, Tyler, that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to be scared. I'm not scared. I'm just not taking unnecessary risks when I know that if I just hold my digital assets long enough, I will make gains. Why risk that? There's like 100% certainty that if you just buy Bitcoin and leave it alone, at some point it is very likely going to be higher than it is now. Might take a few years, but it will be. So if you have a guaranteed gain in the future, why are you risking it for more short-term gain? That's just greed. I'm not doing that. So I'm sorry to make a video like this on a Sunday where I sound disappointed, but I am disappointed. And I'm not one of those creators or one of those YouTubers who's going to run during a time like this. I'm not going to not post videos until the market gets good. I'm not going to give you my honest opinion. No, fuck that. I'm going to just give you my honest opinion. I'm here with you during the good days and the bad days. I was wrong about that dump. I didn't see it coming. I told you I was wrong. Because that's what I stand for as a creator, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. And so, no, today I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling all that enthusiastic about crypto, and not because of the crash. I couldn't give a fuck about the crash, to be honest. Like, it is what it is. Crypto just crashes sometimes. I'm more disappointed because I hate to see what happened in the community and seeing, people taking their lives over this shit, right? And then people making the same exact mistake again. Say, we'll just never learn. And they know that. The people who are designing the system against us know that. They know we can't handle our emotions. And so they're just going to keep taking advantage of it. And so I just hope you're not one of the ones. I hope you're not one of the ones making those same mistakes, revenge trading, redeploying, rushing, forcing trades when you don't need to. I hope you're not one of them, but I'm seeing it a lot, and it's just going to open us up for more bullshit. So that's kind of it for today. Again, I'm sorry. I know this isn't the most hyped up Tyler Hill enthusiastic video, but it's just frustrating. I've been in this market a very long time, and I get frustrated when I see things like this. I come to expect things like this. Don't get me wrong. Like, we expected that some sort of crash could happen. Again, I don't care about crypto crashing. It makes no fucking, I genuinely don't care. I more just care about you guys, and it sucks to see. It sucks to see. So I'll keep you updated as it all plays out. As per usual, as you know, I do like to post over on a couple other platforms. I post over on Instagram. You can see some personal stuff about me there, but I also post like analysis and updates and stuff like that about XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, whatever. And I also post on Twitter. I know I never really talk about Twitter here, but I do post on Twitter very, very frequently. So feel free to go check that out if that is interesting to you. But all in all, guys, please just be safe. And I'll be here every step of the way to update you on what's going on. See you later.